Shaukat was talking about that. How did we get excellence in gastroenterology? And what is, by definition, if you want to make a department excellence? Excellence doesn't mean anything. It means that the person in the street should talk about you, not against you. The next person whom you see should talk about you, not against you. And then like that, your patient should talk about you, not against you. The public should talk about you, not against you. Not only there, the next patient you see, you should say thank you very much. And then you go to Indian Society of Gastroenterology, you go to American Society of Gastroenterology, and you go anywhere else. Even one of the persons told me a few years back, that his son went to Pittsburgh for getting a fellowship in gastroenterology. And at Pittsburgh, the person who was interviewing him, he said, "You are an Indian? He said, yes. Do you know Dr. Khuroo?" He said, "Yes, he's my uncle." He said, "Okay, you leave." And he was selected. So they should talk about you. We should have an acclaim. It's not me, Dr. Khuroo. It is the gastroenterology which we build up of excellence. And then you should be able to publish. Now, how did we do that? First thing is, I said, what is excellence? Please understand, excellence does not mean that, it means that every aspect of medicine which you practice should be acceptable to the people and should be acceptable even at Indian stuff, gastroenterology. You go to Delhi, you go to Bombay, and they should talk about gastroenterology. And that's what was happening. Now, how did we do that? I didn't do it. It is the people who were with me who did it. Dr. Shaukat, Dr. Rakesh, and I can name Gulzar, Jaswinder, and I can name at least probably 100 people who did it. Now, how did they do it? I made them to do innovations. If you be a normal human being, you can never get excellence in medicine or in any area. In place like this, you have to innovate. And I told you one innovation what I made, Jaswinder to do. Another innovation was Salim Kamli. I have examples of everybody, but about Salim Kamli. He was a technician in biochemistry, and he had gone outside for PhD. He was thrown out for some reasons, and then he came. One day I found a boy outside my room. I told him, "What you're doing here?" He said, "Sir, I want to do PhD with you." I said, "Are you crazy? What do you do?" He said, "I am a technician in biochemistry department." I said, "Get out. Don't come here." So he continued for 7 days. I saw him every time at the department and on my door. And before I would enter the door, I would see his figure. So I told him, "What's going on?" He said, "Sir," he said, "he will kill himself if he doesn't start with Dr. Khuroo." I said, "Okay." So I told him, "Okay, come in." So I brought him in. This is a story which is very important for all of us. So I told him, "Come in. You will start doing PCR in the next 6 weeks." I said, "Sir, I don't know PCR. How can I do it?" I said, "Okay." I called Shah Jamil at the ICGP. I said, "This boy must know and train in PCR in 6 weeks." And he went and he stayed 3 months there. He put the procedure, was absolutely perfect in the procedure. He came back. We had thousands of samples in our freezers. That story also I'll tell you. And he tested all this thing, and he tested the new epidemics, the Shukan epidemic. The Shukan epidemic, once he tested, I said, "Salim, we should publish it in Lancet." He said, "Sir, what can I do?" I said, "Come over." He would live in my home. He was not actually living in his house. He would live in my drawing room for his PhD. I told him we publish it in Lancet. He said, "How can I do it?" So we started at 4 in the evening. At 6 in the morning, we wrote the paper and sent it next morning to Lancet. This was about the Shukan epidemic, about vertical transfer hepatitis C. It got published in 4 weeks as an, they just published it right away, without any review. They said this must be published. And after it got published, after 2 weeks, he disappeared. I told him, Salim, I called him. Salim, where are you? Where is he? So he called me from Delhi airport. I told him, what you are doing in Delhi airport? He said, after the paper was published, the people in CDC told him, come over to US right away. And that's how he got into US, and that's how he's an American citizen now, and he's heading the virology division at the CDC. It's a proud for this place that a technician, he is heading the virology, he is the spokesman of the US government, and goes all over the world if there is a hepatitis.